A very good evening to you all. My name is Dr. Munyaradzi Mushunji. Today I'm here tonight just to share an important topic or subject that I think is very vital, especially to us business people and anybody else who might think of getting into business. And we are going to talk about losses in business. What prompted me to talk about this is obviously my own personal experience, this as an entrepreneur, as well as what I see happening around me. And at times you see that people may emotionally break down after a loss that has happened, and some of them may actually succumb to that emotional breakdown and may never want to attempt to do business again. And before we start, I think it's important that we look at some small basic definitions to ensure that we are all at par and on the same level. A business is any activity that a person commences or starts with an aim of creating value, okay? And these activities might be in the form of offering products to other people or offering services, your services to other people. In return, obviously, from an academic perspective, we are talking of value. What you want to create is value at the end of the day. And at times, if that value is not created, losses are incurred, or the process of carrying out that business, you incur losses. And then what is a loss? There are two definitions that I think we need to look at that I've prepared for you here. The first one is an English Collins Dictionary definition. They say a loss is the fact of no longer having something that you had before, or something valuable or desirable. And also remember, when we talk about loss, it's not necessarily something that you had before, but you might have anticipated certain forms of income because you have got maybe certain contracts that are running and you are offering services, and then maybe those contracts are cut prematurely. That's definitely also a loss. So we are also talking of anticipated income that just disappears or it can no longer come. This is from the Collins English Dictionary, and I also try to look at the scholarly definition of loss. The scholars, they equally agree that a loss is the absence of something that is valuable to you, okay? And it involves emotional and psychological manifestations. So remember, there's no way you can go through loss and it spares your emotions. It's not possible. So emotions are going to be involved in the process. But what I'm trying to say tonight to you is we just need to look at these losses and remind each other that the moment you walk into business and you say to yourself, I want to be involved into business, whether you are selling in a spaza shop or whether you are offering services, you are doing people's hair, or you are offering medical services to people, any business that you walk into, you are going to encounter losses. So once these losses occur, it is important, therefore, what we are saying is they must not bring you down. They must not bring you down. You should actually use that as a challenge that should catapult you forward and jump to the next stage again. And usually losses in business, they occur in different forms. Number one, you can be conned. Remember, a business is an activity where you are involved in offering services or products to people. And you don't carry out this activity alone. So definitely there's going to be some interaction with the market. And in the process of you interacting with your market, you are going to come across certain risks. You are also going to come across certain unscrupulous elements or people who have no ethics and they don't care and who believe in what we call dog eat dog world. But the question is, how are you going to respond to that? So you may experience a loss because you have been conned. You came across a person who thinks is smarter than you and takes you into a deal that you truly believe was going to give fruits, and yet he was conning you. And a lot of people have lost a lot of money in the process. So that's one way of people losing their money. And you hear someone saying, I was knocked 10,000 rand, I was knocked 100,000 rand. by such people. So you must be careful of such people. We also make losses in business because maybe the decisions that you have made at that moment were wrong, or they were unresearched, and your strategies were wrong. And at the end of the day, the outcome is not pleasing. When you look at the gains that you might have made are far less than the expenses that you might have incurred. That is again a loss in business. You may also experience a loss in business through what we call loss of stock. There are so many businesses that have got expired products that have expired in their hands, and these products are no longer available and cannot be offered to the market. That is a loss. You can also lose stock through theft. And to those people who are dealing with perishable products, vegetables and all that, you know very well that if you don't sell your vegetables within a 24-hour period or a window, definitely those vegetables are going to rot in your hands, and that is a loss. And the other loss that can happen is lack of market response. Every time, obviously, when we commence our business, we anticipate the market to respond and to come on board and either buy our services or buy our products in exchange for value. But at times the market may not just respond, and there are a number of factors that may affect response, market response. Some of these are within the micro business environment or macro business, and at a bigger level it can also be very political. That's why you then realize at times some people have got big pieces of property that they've built anticipating maybe to get business either from government or from certain organizations, and the market does not respond, and those buildings are empty, and obviously it's a painful experience. So there are a number of reasons that may cause losses, and this is just a few of them that I've just tried to talk about now to you. But also remember, a business is associated with gains. There is no person who goes into business without an anticipation of making a profit or creating value out of that business, whatever they use the value for. But at the end of the day, everybody anticipates to make a profit or a gain. So we are going to experience gains if everything is in place at the right time. We should be able to experience gains. But these gains do not just come from the first day that you do business. Remember, losses, losses, and losses. So the question is, how do you react when losses occur? Remember, we've said they have got emotional and psychological manifestations. And when these things happen, obviously they affect your psychology, your emotion. We are all emotional people. My plea to everybody tonight is, let us be aware of that. We don't want people who go into depression at the end of the day because they've lost, or maybe there's certain income that they anticipated out of the business deals that they might have gone into and it fails to materialize. So be aware of it upfront, that should the loss occur, it must not lead you into a depressive state. Whatever responses also one shall make following a loss that is okay to you must be within your ethical realm. Okay, let us react in an appropriate way. Remember, we are business people. We are not people who are fly by night. We just woke up, we don't understand business principles. And remember, let us look ahead. So there are some people who might lose it, and in the process, they react very differently and badly towards the people who might have caused their losses. And in most cases, if such things happen, you may actually end up with even more trouble, where maybe now crimes are committed. Someone says to you, no, you can't do this to me. I'm not that type of person, and all that. And some people may even proceed to act on that by maybe hiring people to go and harm whoever the person it is. And that is very bad. So we don't want to encourage that. If a loss occurs, let cool heads prevail. I'll give you a good example. You are taking a bath in a shower outside, and then someone who is mentally challenged suddenly opens the door and takes away the clothes that you were hanging and runs away with them. What are you going to do? Are you honestly going to jump out of the shower and run after him for your clothes, or you'll sit and wait and think how you can attend to the problem? Remember, if you are going to find yourself jumping out of the shower and running after this person, people will not notice the difference. You will also be classified as mentally challenged. So we don't want that to happen. And in times, maybe the consequences might be bad and that person might even harm you. So let us be careful and let us think and allow cool heads to prevail in wanting to find a solution to that. So the question that I'm saying today is, in the event of a loss that has happened, how do you manage it? How do you manage it? As business people, remember, any loss of whatever nature that occurs to you, don't take it as a loss or as a failure. It's not a failure, but it is a challenge. It is an opportunity for you to sit down, to rethink, redesign, re-strategize, and restart differently. Those errors are very important. Sit down and apply those errors. I'm telling you, once you sit down and apply those errors, and also involve other people, get advice from other people, and in an environment where maybe you can get a coach, or if there are some people who are prepared to take you along to understand them. If you are lucky to get one, then that's very important. The second time you try and do it again, in most cases you will do it correct. All I'm trying to say tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is, as I reach the conclusion of this presentation, is the purpose of any business is to create value. Yes, but it's not easy to create value from day zero. There are a lot of challenges that we come across, and one of the big challenges that we come across is losses. So losses are normal, part and parcel of a business process. But what we aim for at the end of the day, when we look back, the gains that we have acquired and accumulated through certain business processes must be greater than the losses. That's what we want. So already losses will be there, but we want the situation that at the end of the day or of a certain period of time, when you look back, the gains that we acquire minus those losses, we must get a positive difference. And then that means we are growing and we have created value. Thank you very much. I hope this will be quite useful to those who want to go into business, get into business with that mindset. I'm also an entrepreneur. There are a couple of things that I've tried in my life. I've experienced a number of losses, but the truth is, yes, they were painful, but they have not let me down. I still stand and have energy to move forward. I'm a medical practitioner by profession. I still do quite a lot of work within the medical industry, but by blood, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a graduate of the Northwest University Business School. I came out with a master's in business administration and majored in operations management. So I hope this is useful to you. Thank you.